I'll be revealing to you some secrets you need to know that will help you position yourself and plug in properly to the target market that you want. Let's go. So I started my cake business really as a hobbyist. And what this means is that I had a 9 to 5. I was working with Virgin Atlantic Airways. And when I came back home from work, I would settle in and basically work on the orders I had received either from my colleagues or friends or family members. And it was fun. There was no pressure. I would do it when I wanted. And everything was just jolly. I would put out advertisement in local newspaper. And at the time, social media wasn't very hot. I would dedicate some money, put an advert out there, and yes, people will respond. Now, I will tell you why people responded. I had an image of probably 1 or 2 jobs I had done. The information was clear. The phone number was there. And of course, a catchy phrase was there that kind of let them into our world. And so people responded. But the question was, at the time when I had put that advertisement on print media, was I ready for the volume of response I will get? No, I had a 9 to 5. And my 9 to 5 meant that I had to be at work between a certain time to a certain time. And so when the customers called, I wasn't available to pick the calls. And when I did pick the calls, it was a complete mess. I wasn't ready for the influx of calls. And then, I went through that motion and I finally got to the stage where I thought, you know what, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and start my bakery business proper. So remember I said I was a hobbyist. Being a hobbyist, there's no pressure. You do things when you want to and how you want to do it. And yes, the money comes in and you're happy. You spend the money on probably new equipment or tools that you have been eyeing, or 1 or 2 personal things you want to. But right now, when you quit your 9 to 5 and take your quote and unquote hobby more seriously, the dynamics of everything changes. You're no more earning a salary. You have to be the one that will generate income, that will be able to take care of the business, pay your salary, and the salary of anybody that you have hired. And then your hobby suddenly becomes serious. But guess what? Are you ready to take on the responsibilities of that serious business? So let's start from scratch now. How do you generate the income that will feed your business, make it profitable, and make it impactful? That's food for thought, right? Now, this is what I suggest you do. First and foremost, you need to understand what your target market is. Who is your ideal customer? Where are they? Where are they hanging out? What are they most likely to, respond to? Once you have decided who this target is in the entire market, you want to make sure that it is spelled out clearly and you completely study who your target audience is and how to reach them. So let's assume your target audience is the upper class, people who will not haggle you at all and are ready to pay anything for any type of product that you create from your bakery. The question is, what does this target audience like? The upper class, they're classy, they like taste, they're well-traveled, they're well-spoken, they like things done orderly, they like things that are well-organized, okay? And so if this is your target market, you need to position yourself properly to attract that kind of customer. So let me break it down. Let's talk about your products. Now, you can't want upper class or high-end customers and you're baking your cakes with just any type of ingredient. You need to make sure that you're using the best of the best. Because whether we like it or not, the taste of our cake actually depends on the type of ingredients we have used. What is the flavor you're using? What is the kind of fat you're using for your cake? What type of flour, all right? And overall, what kind of experience do you have to turn these ingredients into a perfect cake? You need to source your ingredients and products from reputable bakeries who are known for quality. Here in Nigeria, for example, if you want to target that type of market, your vanilla, for instance, it can't be imitation. It can't be any type of vanilla flavor that is just all over the place. It has to really smell like the real deal. And for goodness sake, we know how much vanilla pods taste or how much vanilla pods cost. And if you're buying high-end concentrated vanilla extract, you know that you want to probably import them. And this will cost you a lot of money. You want to know that you're using a butter with a high percent fat content, because the kind of fat or the butter we use has a big role in playing into the overall taste of your cake. You also want to make sure that the kind of designs that you churn out or the designs that you're using to create your cake are beautiful, are elegant, are opulent. Okay? You need to make sure that your packages, your labels, your prints are all properly done to attract your ideal high-end customer. If on the other hand, you decide to go with the medium class customers, this is probably a safe place to be, because right now you'll be targeting working class mothers. Is it mothers that have young children or much older children? If it's mothers with young children, you know there's going to be a lot of bombarding with cakes for kids, parties, and one celebration or the other. So I always say this is like a safe place to kind of land your boat, because there's always something to do for this type of customers. But because this is like a fleshy part of the meat, you will find out that a lot of other cake businesses have targeted these same people. So you need to be smart with your advertising. You need to be witty. You need to be intelligent so that you can understand where the problem is and kind of plug in and get their attention. Now, if you're working with the mass market, this market I call the juicy market, because it is so low end. They're not really particular about things looking so regal and elegant. They just want quick. I want this product and I want it now. And I want it at a cheap price. That is why if you walk into any supermarket, the bread aisle is filled with all sorts of bread brands. And people are just picking them left, right, and center. Because it is a mass market. In Nigeria, for example, where I live, if you want to, concentrate on the mass market, that mass market is regulated by NAFDAC. In your country, depending on the specific regulations that apply to the mass market, you need to make sure that you have sorted that out. Now, once you have sorted that out, you understand that mass market deals with little items that are properly packaged. And when I say package, just think about things you want to put in a supermarket. So when you go to a supermarket and you're in a hurry to just do your grocery shopping, it should be something that someone who wasn't thinking of buying your product can just see and pick up and be like, oh, this is the name. It looks really delicious. Let me just take this and try it. Something that they can just quickly grab and go, and they don't think twice about the price. All right. So now already I have been able to paint a picture of the kind of customers that there are. So mass, medium, and then the upper class, right? Are you already thinking about where you want to pitch your tent? Now let's talk about the pros and cons first before I tell you how to market to these people. So what's the pros and the cons of all of these market types I have just mentioned? Now, mass market, you need a lot of hands. You can't do it by yourself, and that's the truth. Think about conveyor belt type processing. Now, it's okay if you don't have a facility or a factory, but where you're working from, honestly, do you have the capacity to be able to churn out hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of that particular product a day? So if you're going to do mass market, please don't be thinking about fondant cakes. Fondant cakes take a lot of time. That amount of time you're using to bake and decorate one fondant cake, you would have used it to bake so many on ice cakes, cookies, brownies, what else? I mean, there's just so much you can do. Okay, so if you're going to be in that zone of mass market, you can't really do refined products. You want to make sure that they're quick type products that you or any member of your staff can churn out without little or no supervision. Okay? Now, if it's on the medium market, you want to make sure that things are a little more elegant. You're spending a little more time, but you're not spending too much time. At the end of the day, remember you want to make a profit. So if you're in the middle market and all you're concentrating on again is so much fondant cakes, I mean, that will take too much of your time, and you will understand that when you're using just almost 8 hours to decorate one cake, it's going to be exhausting for you. You want to make sure that you map out your road plan. Of all the products that you're making, which one of them doesn't take too much of your time? Yes, it has to look beautiful, it has to look the part, but that also means that you have to plan ahead of time. At the beginning of the week, are you concentrating on prepping all the ingredients or the decor elements that you will use to decorate your cakes? Are you making your flowers in advance? Are you making your sugar elements in advance? You know, because really sugar, flowers, and all those beautiful elements, like you see at the back of me right now, I have a camera that will be sitting on top of a 12-inch cake. And the staff member who is responsible for doing that has already built that part of the design, so that when that cake is ready, all we're doing is covering with buttercream, fondant, and literally placing that on the cake. So you see how if you're working with the medium market, you need to be able to be smart enough to meaningfully understand what task you have beforehand and prepare ahead of time, so that when it's time to actually execute the job, you're not wasting too much time on finishing the job. So for the high-end customer, we know that you should be able to express yourself to the maximum. Price is not a problem at all. So even your 8 inches cake, your 6 inches cake, these cakes are cakes that have been baked with a lot of time, a lot of effort. So can you remember when Prince Harry and Meghan were getting married? Can you remember what the wedding cake looked like? Did you find out how much this wedding cake cost? It was so simple, and yes, it cost an arm and a leg. This wedding cake really was for the couple, representing their love and their personality as a couple. And so what that cake did was nothing but adding value to the event. So you need to understand that when you're attending to that market niche, people are coming to you because of value. So please, be ready to splurge. Be ready to charge for any amount that you seem fit. Because this target market really understand what value is, and they are ready to pay the price. So to paint a better picture in your mind, if you want to buy a Gucci bag, for example, and you know you want the real Gucci bag, not a fake Gucci bag, you know that the container or the box or packaging that Gucci bag has come in, you're not going to throw that box away, because that box really does look beautiful. It's been made with good quality material, and so it can stand the test of time. Talk less of the Gucci bag itself. This bag will carry you for years and years. You can pass it on to family, friends, or even to your children. So anybody getting a Gucci bag really is buying that bag because of the value, and of course the feeling of affluence that they get when they just carry that bag. It comes with a lot. Gucci didn't just show up and just did things shabbily. You need to go in and study exactly how this business started and how it continues over the years to stick to its brand identity. All right? So, I mean, this is a lot. So I want to wake up some things you were not thinking of, as much as it relates to customers and where we stand for our cake business. I hope this makes sense. Now that we have this going on in our mind now, it's time for you to go back to the drawing board and first and foremost determine which of these customers you want to attend to, and begin to meaningfully rearrange or rebrand your business to attract and maintain your ideal customer. So if you're going to be with the mass market now, I've just mentioned that you're going to be dealing with a lot of businesses. And this is called the B2B space, business to business. You have to do a lot of legwork. Other businesses or supermarkets don't sit around on social media looking for customers or looking for their vendors. You know you need to do some legwork. Go to these supermarkets, go in for a presentation, and go in prepared. okay? Know your numbers. Have an accounting system that allows you to be able to answer whatever question they may throw at you. Also, know how you're going to defend your product and know what exactly those, the products you're going to make, what is the makeup of those products. Because you're going to be getting stuff like barcodes, and you just don't put barcodes on products. You need to at least go through a processing of getting barcodes for each of your products. You also need to think about trademarking your business, because when you trademark your business, it becomes set in stone. Nobody anywhere can use that name that you have just trademarked. And of course, it also helps in building the proper identity for your business. And then, can I just mention here that even if you want to go into the mass space, doesn't mean you need to do things shabbily. Depending on the brand identity of your business, you want to make sure that whether your products are on the mass space, you will have a great opportunity to meet with customers that didn't know you before. And these customers could be on the high end or the medium class. Because take for instance, your items are in a supermarket and the president's wife or the PA to the president enters a supermarket or a grocery store. They can actually be attracted to your product if it is properly packaged or it looks the part. So being in the mass market doesn't also mean you should do things shabbily. That's why I said, depending on your brand identity or the mission you have as a business, you are able to carefully package your products properly. And if, all this branding and all of that is not your cup of tea, you really just want to be in that market and just spread your wings, still do things properly. You never know where this can lead you to. Now, if you're going to be on the middle and the high end, side of things, you want to make sure that, again, you have properly branded your business and you can market your business to this type of people that I have just mentioned. Online marketing these days is so important for any kind of business. Your website has to be in order. Your social media platforms have to be in order. I'm talking Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm talking YouTube. Yes, YouTube. If you are listening to me now, by now you should have your own YouTube channel. You are a creative. You should have content that your customers can see and be inspired to either learn from you or actually want to taste of what you actually create from your space. So social media marketing is important. Digital marketing is important. Okay. And honestly, you also need to know how to speak to your customers, market your business. If you meet someone for the first time and they ask you, what do you just say, I make cakes? Or are you quickly able to say exactly what you do? Oh, my name is Lolade and I bake the most amazing cakes in Nigeria. And something that would catch the attention of a total or a complete stranger, or you're still hiding behind the flour and sugar that you're always constantly seeing every day. What I'm just saying is you have to come up higher. And coming up higher as a business owner, as a cake business owner, is going to take you out of your comfort zone. And it's okay not to know it at first. Because you have listened on to today's edition, you have to step up your game. So step up your game in advertising, in speaking about your business, in marketing your business, in doing the legwork. Don't just sit on social media. On all these platforms, there are rules of engagement. So make sure you know exactly what to do depending on how you have decided to market your business. It is important that you just don't sit down and do nothing. Mass, medium, upper class customers, they need to know who you are. You can't be in a place and be quiet. If you do not market your business, you are like a man winking in the dark. Only you know what you're doing and nobody else does, and that's frustrating. So go out and shine. The world cannot wait to connect with your cake business. So if you've loved this edition, make sure you like, subscribe and share. Okay, and of course, leave a comment. I love to read your comments. So till next time, happy caking!